So Trey, just to get us started, tell us a little bit about your decision to come to Arkansas.
Yeah, man, Coach Musselman hit me up, man. I just kind of talked to him, told my situation, man, and the things I look for next year, and trying to transition into being a professional someday. And I understand he coached in those realms, and he had a very successful year last year. So I just think it's a place where I get the best of both worlds. I can play in the winning program and learn from a guy who's been in those professional realms. So I just thought it was a good fit.
So what made you want to enter the transfer portal though?
Yeah. What are you talking about prior to Nevada or
Um, Both
what?
actually.
Yeah. At Wichita, my Coach Marshall, he kind of resigned, and that kind of changed a lot of things with me. Just so he was the kind of the guy that recruited me, and I just felt comfortable playing under him. And after he resigned, I just felt I need to go somewhere else. I need to move on from Wichita State. So that was the transfer.
And then hold on. What
Did
about
y'all?
Nevada? What
Hold
happened
on,
with that whole situation?
my brother
Or
keep calling.
no,
Sorry.
oh
Let
you're
me.
good.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Yeah, the Nevada situation. I wanted to do something closer to home.
Mhm.
Uh, Fortunately, I couldn't get that opportunity. Some things went down, but I couldn't get that opportunity to get closer to home. So it was kind of a situation where I was back out there again, and I had to find a spot for my last year. So that was kind of with the Nevada deal.
Did you see Arkansas's run through the NCAA tournament last year?
I, I watched a little bit of it. I definitely watched when they played Oral Roberts. I had went against Oral Roberts, and I was just seeing them had that great run. So I definitely was interested in watching them play. But in the midst of it, I was watching Arkansas too. So I definitely seen what they could do out there.
Well, what kind of player are you for people who don't know? What's kind of your style out there on the court?
I just try to make winning plays. I'm kind of got to make. I would say I'm a playmaker. I just get out there and try to make winning plays. I try to make the right plays, and when I'm out there, I'm just down and I'm winning. That's kind of been my identity, and I want that to continue to be my identity of a guy who just comes in and he contributes and wins. So that's the biggest thing with me.
And there's been some turnover on the coaching staff recently at Arkansas. What do you think about
Right.
that and some of the new guys that have come in? Have you gotten a chance to
Uh,
talk with any of them?
Coach Gus was a big part of my recruitment. He coached under Musselman, prior to being at Arkansas. So that connection was there, and he believed in me, and the coaching staff followed along. So he was really a big piece of me coming to Arkansas. So
Do you like Musselman's enthusiasm that he constantly has for
yeah,
basketball?
that's great. Basketball, I've been watching him. He's at the softball. I mean, not the softball, the baseball games, and he's just having a good time, and I love it. I love it.
All right, Kevin's with us. I'm going to let him take over and ask you a couple questions as well.
How's it going, Trey?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Doing great. Welcome to Arkansas. I guess I should say almost Arkansas. You're coming in when on Saturday?
Yeah, I'm drive down. I'm probably gonna get on the road sometime Friday and probably get there Saturday. Yeah.
All right. You talked a little bit about your game. When I watched film of you, very impressed with your presence, especially on rebounding the basketball. You seem to be a guy that I'm going to use the word enforcer. You're not afraid to use your physicality,
Right.
and a glue guy, a guy that helps, like you said, make winning plays, translate to winning basketball. Can never have every team's got to have one. Did you and the coaching staff at Arkansas talk about those qualities and traits in your game that could help this team maybe get back to where it was last year, final top 10 ranking in Elite Eight?
Right. Well, I kind of lost you there. Can you kind of repeat some of that? Kind of went out real fast. So can you repeat some of
Uh-oh.
that?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was just going to say, you seem a guy that plays with physicality. You attack the rebounds, and sort of a glue guy, maybe an enforcer at times. But I wanted to know how Arkansas's coaching staff talked with you maybe about some of those traits and how it can help take a team that had so much success last year, maybe have a repeat season like that where they're, looking at top 10 rankings and maybe going far
Right.
in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, man. I was never the guy to I always been a great rebounder. I never was a guy to just really think about it and going to get the rebounds till I started learning that it was a big part of my success and the team's success. So yeah, they seen that in me and they understand what I can do. And yeah, that's something I approach the game every game. You know, I want to get in there and rebound and play physical and, you know, just help the guys out. I think that's a big piece of winning. So, you know, I played against physical teams like Houston, who guys who, you know, go at you every rebound. So, you know, that's a big part of success and being a good basketball team. So, you know, I take that approach. I take that approach with a lot of seriousness because it's going to help us win.
Now, you obviously at Wichita, you've been in the NCAA tournament there, so you bring that experience. But that's one of the better conferences in the country that maybe sometimes gets overlooked, the American Athletic Conference. You mentioned Houston, so many good teams in that league. Talk about those experiences over the last 2 years and now stepping up to the SEC and how you think maybe some of that experience helps you blend in and you know, fall in line.
Right, yeah. The American Conference, man, they're athletic, they're physical, and I think you know, it's gonna translate. I really do think my game will translate to the SEC. I mean, I'm pretty fast. My ability to be athletic and physical, I think it's gonna translate well. And I've you know, I had an opportunity to play against some SEC schools, and I do pretty well. So I think it's gonna transfer pretty good.
Let's talk a little bit about positionless basketball. Eric Musselman likes guys that can defend
Right.
multiple positions. You seem to me, just looking and watching what you've done, a guy that's going to be comfortable in a 3-4 combo role, oscillating between the 3 and the 4. You can, if Arkansas goes small ball, you can enforce and get on that
Right.
glass like we talked about.
Right.
Have y'all talked about your position role and what you bring to the Razorbacks?
Yeah, we talked about it. You know, just being positionless, like you said. I expressed to coach that I kind of, you know, I want to put the ball on the floor. I want to work on that a little bit more and really put the ball on the floor and show guys that I can make decisions off the dribble. And that's something we're gonna work on when we get there. And, you know, just that role of, you know, I can guard the 1 through 4, so even the 5. You know, I can do all those things out there. So really, you know, wherever coach needs me at, I can, you know, I can play that role. So.
Your new teammates, you're about to meet everybody in person. Have you had a chance to exchange maybe phone calls or texts, or have you got to know any of the guys on the team? I know it's been kind of fast with everything with your commitment, signing, and then coming on board.
I haven't really talked to any of the guys, but you know, we follow each other on social media, and I'm looking forward to talking to them and meeting them when I get down there. But I haven't really, you know, communicated with anybody yet.
Okay. So another question I have is, every player, like you said, they're trying to build to that next level. Dream is always the NBA. Talk about some of the role models or guys you look up to that are in the league, or maybe it's even college basketball, but some players that you really like and that maybe you even pattern yourself after.
Right. It's you know, as a kid, you know, you look at all the great players like Durant and LeBron, and everybody want to be like them. But as you get older, you try to mimic guys who kind of similar to your game, because at the end of the day, you want it to be realistic and you want it to, you know, match when you try to make it. And guys I look at is like Jay Crowder. I think he's a great defender, great catch and shoot guy, great teammate. And who else? Even Michael Bridges. I think he's a great teammate. I think he runs the floor, very athletic and shoot the ball. And, you know, I think when I make it, if I ever do have the chance to play in the NBA, I'm going to be like a guy like that, you know. You know, the 3-and-D guy who can play defense, knock down the 3 at a consistent rate. No, those are the things I look at when I look at NBA players, and I try to mimic. So, them are the type of players I look at.
Okay. Got another question for you. We talk basketball. Obviously, that's part of your journey here. But what is something about Trey Wade that Arkansas fans are going to fall in love with? Maybe they don't know about you yet. Something that could be personal, off the court, something about you and your personality.
Man, I'm just, you know, a lot of fans, like even in my previous schools, man, I really don't show too much emotion. Like when I'm out in the game, I'm all about business. So, you know, they love that about me, that I approach the game with a seriousness and, you know, I take it serious. And also, a lot of people don't know this, but I had an uncle who ran track at the University of Arkansas, Kenny Banks. He was track, and I think he's real good friends with Mike Conley Sr. They both ran track at Arkansas. And, you know, I took approaching my senior year of high school, I went to the camp where Mike Anderson was the coach, and I was down in Fayetteville. Like, I'm kind of familiar with it. I seen the facilities and stuff, and I really loved it. Out of high school, I really wanted to go there. Unfortunately, I didn't, but it's crazy how it worked full circle, you know, for my last year. So.
That's
all right. Now, you've seen Eric Musselman's social media game. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for all that smoke, all that social media game daily?
It's a little different coming from Wichita. I know my coach at Wichita, he really didn't do social media, and I see him on social media. I think it's pretty cool. I can't wait to meet and interact with him. But I think it's pretty cool that he's on there and he's as a pedestal to brand the school and support the school. I think it's cool. So,
thank you, Trey. Thank you.
All right, Trey, that's going to wrap us up. Thank you so much for your time today.
No problem, man. Thank y'all.